Another thing I've been wanting to do for a while. Oh, whoops. Uh, is just sort of just talk about anime I've been watching. So I am a very dedicated uh enjoyer of anime. You see, I follow it from season to season, and I watch every season. I will look at what's airing, and I will watch whatever looks interesting to me. And whatever other people are saying is good, I'll also give a shot. And I'll, it's a fun time. It's a fun time. I'm gonna reset the fucking model again. Okay, there we go. Okay, so something I have been wanting to do is yeah, just talk about anime. Just give my thoughts on anime I've been watching. And I want to do it monthly. So this stream I had actually planned on doing Friday because it was the end of last month and it would have been a perfect time to go over it was also the end of the winter 2023 anime season. Which would have been a good time to just give my thoughts on all the winter 2023 anime. Um uh so yeah, I mean that was the plan and I didn't end up streaming on Friday. I don't remember why. It's honestly probably just because I was lazy. And then I was like, it's fucking fine. I'll do it over the weekend. I couldn't do it over the weekend because WrestleMania was over the weekend, and uh, so both nights over the weekend, I went over to my brother's place to watch WrestleMania. So I couldn't do this over the weekend, but I'm doing it now. So there, if I so choose, there'll be another stream at the end of the month to at the end of the month to you know to go over more of the like the spring 2023 anime I've been watching. Of which I have already started watching, obviously, because the spring 2023 anime season started on Saturday. So there are stuff that I've been watching this season. If I have time today, which I think I probably will, I'll probably also look at what's coming out this season and start to plan out what I'm going to watch because I haven't really done that yet. But so here we are on my anime list. Um, let's go to winter 2023. I'm just gonna go down the list, see what's up. Oh, I didn't. Hold on, you guys. I need to. You guys can't see what the fuck I'm looking at, can you? Let's see. There you go. Uh, well, hold on. Let me zoom in on that because. Oh God, that's too zoomed in. There we go. All right, so just going down the list. Let's start with Vinland Saga. All right, so Vinland Saga's still going. Vinland Saga season two, it's still going. It's 24 episodes. So it's spilling into this season. But I'm still gonna talk about it because Vinland Saga season two has been fucking fantastic so far. I remember back when season one aired, I saw people online saying that in the manga, season one is just the prologue, and that blew my fucking mind because season one is like a complete story. Um, I don't know about, well, I don't know about complete. There are like loose ends and stuff, but like season one is such like like it's so good. It's so good. Um, like season one is like an actual story. Like it's not something you expect to be in like just a prologue. Uh, but yeah, it's just I understand now how, because season one definitely sets up this season with like, you get characters backstories in season one, and the way the characters change from season one to season two, and the way their actions in season one sort of affect the way they are in season two is very interesting. Like season one serves the purpose of setting up season two very much. Um, and I I don't know how much into spoilers I should get with this stuff, but it's so honestly, I'm gonna try and go spoiler free. Um, but honestly, this is such a good series about, like, you like Vikings and you like anime, you're gonna like this anime. It's so good. Seeing Thorfinn change. Thorfinn is like almost a completely different person from season one to season two. In season one, he's like a murder machine with only revenge on his mind, like constantly killing people left and right. Like, like not even not even giving a second thought to other people's lives, right? Despite his father, um, not wanting, like, trying to tell him that like killing people is bad, like you shouldn't kill people no matter what. And then in season two, he's just completely empty. In season two, he's like dead inside. He's a slave and he's like dead inside. His revenge was taken from him, right? He wasn't even able to get his revenge at the end of season one. I guess spoiler for season one. Um, well, there goes, whatever. Uh, and so like he's just like a, an empty shell of it's just like an empty shell of a man with nothing to live for. So it's interesting seeing that, just seeing him be so different, and him like finding a purpose again and stuff. And seeing Canute has changed so fucking much, dude. Um, this is Canute here, by the way. You can't see the cursor, but the thumbnail for the episode 5 thing down here. Um, that's Canute. He's definitely changed quite a bit. Yeah. Vinland Saga season 2, definitely worth a watch. Uh, I'm gonna have to. Yeah. Also, there's definitely gonna be some anime you're gonna see like on my list that it's gonna be like, oh no, balls exposed kind of thing. It's gonna be a little embarrassing, but fuck it. Um, this one, I believe is on the break because of COVID. Hold on. So this is Misfit of Demon King Academy 2. It's on a break right now because of COVID, unfortunately. Uh, but this anime is one of those anime where it's like, oh, this is complete trash, and I fucking love it. This anime is like, it's literally nothing but like a power fantasy anime. but the way they do it, their delivery on the power fantasy is so fucking great and hilarious. It knows exactly what it is, and it's not afraid to like swerve into it, like turn into exactly what it is. And it does it so perfectly that it's so entertaining. It's fucking hilarious, and I love this show so much. Uh Voldigod, fucking reincarnated Demon King, bro, is stupid powerful, and people keep trying to mess with him, and they keep getting their shit pushed in, and it's fucking great every time. I fucking love this show. If you like power fantasy anime and you like it, and like you like the kind of shit like this where it's like not freak to be exactly what it is, honestly, it's a pretty good time. I fucking love this show. The show's so good. All right. Next, we got Tomo-chan is a girl. Uh this is for those of you out there who like tomboys. Uh which, I like tomboys. Fucking yeah. No. This is a good show for sure. Um fucking so this is a show uh fucking fucking you got your main character Tomo, right? Main female character. This is a rom-com for anyone if it wasn't obvious. Where you got Tomo, the female protagonist, and the male protagonist is June, and they're childhood friends, right? However, for a while when they were kids, June thought Tomo was a boy, and they he didn't know she was a boy until middle school when they started going to the same school together. And before they go into high school, Tomo confesses her feelings to him, and he's just like, "Yeah, we're best buddies," and completely like kind of like brushes her off. And so like the entire anime, she's like trying to get him to see her as a girl and like to get him to like recognize her feelings. And it's fucking oh, it's so good. It's it's the show's hilarious. It's so like and like it's so cute too. Um it's it's honestly really good. Also, uh I don't know if you can see the blonde haired girl in like the thumbnails on the bottom. Her name is Carol. She is a force of chaos, and I love her for it. She is probably my favorite character in the show. She is just an absolute force of chaos, and it's amazing. Also, voice has the same voice actor in Japanese and English, which is very it's an interesting little fun fact. Um, but yeah, definitely worth checking out this anime. It's very good. It has finished. Uh, so it is a complete series. I believe from what I read online, it is like complete, right? There's nothing else to really adapt. I think it does skip some things in from the what's it based off of? From the web manga. But from what I understand, it is complete. Um so, if you want a nice solid complete rom-com anime that is very funny and very cute and has a character that is an absolute force of chaos, watch it. It's really good, especially for the tomboys. Oh God, I did a thing. There we go. All right, I need to find out if there's like a button that goes back, so I don't have to go in and out of full screen every time. All All right. Next we got Tokyo Revengers. I started watching this. I liked season one a lot. I really did. I got 5 episodes into this one and I had to drop it. I couldn't. I couldn't. I know I might get on some people's bad sides with this opinion, but like season one I had a lot of fun with. It was very good. Um it wasn't perfect. I understand, I have heard people's opinions on it that don't like it, and I get it. I understand. It wasn't perfect. This also wasn't perfect. I got 5 episodes in, and I was like, I can't. Maybe it gets better afterwards. Maybe it gets better afterwards. But I couldn't. I had to drop it. It's like, eh. It's just like, just Mikey. It feels like Mikey doesn't change. For as much as he's supposed to change, and he says he's going to change, if it just feels like he doesn't change. He's still like the whiny bitch who can't get shit done, you know? And it feels harsh to say that, but it's like, I don't know, you know? If anyone's finished this and uh it gets better, just let me know. And maybe I'll give it another shot, but I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't finish this one. Um yeah. Yeah. I don't know. This was one of the it's this is one where like I started it and I had to drop it. I had to drop it. Okay. Oh, I can do it. Okay. That works. All right. Next we got fucking Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro's Second Attack. So if you've watched the first Nagatoro, the first season, uh this is very much just more of the same and it's fucking great. I love this show so much. It's so cute. Um yeah, I don't know what it like it's so I love the show. All right, so you got your main character, Senpai, who actually gets his name actually gets dropped in this season. I forget what his name was though. I'm back with names. So you got him. You got Senpai or Paisen as Nagatoro's friends like to call him. And he's a fucking just complete nerd. He's like the nerd stereotype where he's weak, lanky, doesn't do shit. Uh he is an art nerd though, which hits me in the personal spot because I was very into art when I was in high school. Um but yeah, he's art club. He does lots of art things. Uh he's good at it. Yada yada. And but he's nerdy. He's not like really popular. You know, yeah. Um, and then you got Nagatoro, who is like one of the more popular girls, and uh, she takes a liking to him, though she would never admit that. And she just fucking teases the shit out of him. In season one, it starts out really harsh. Like it's like just straight up bullying at the start of season one. Um, like I can understand if people watched the first episode and were just completely put off by it because in season one she is mean as hell and for like no reason. It gets more like gentle, I guess, from then on. Like in episode one and maybe a little bit in episode two of season one, she's just like completely mean to him for no reason, like over the top, and like it's hard to watch. But it gets better from there, and in season two continues it, and it's just fucking so good. It's so good. Definitely recommend this one. Uh, yeah. Next we got Nier Automata. I talked about this a little bit on the podcast. Um, 8 episodes in. It did have to take a break for a bit because of COVID. COVID hit some of these anime real hard last season. And even then, I think it's had to take a couple more breaks. I don't know if it's because of COVID again or what, but yeah, which sucks. But whatever. That being said, so far it's been fucking fantastic. It is literally just like an adaptation of the game, albeit with some things changed and move around, and not all of the changes I agree with. Um, but it is very good. It is a very good anime. Excuse me. Um, like episode one is legit like shot for shot of like the opening, like some of the fights are like legit like shot for shot of like some of the fights in the game, right? Like it's legit, it's like good. It's good. Um then you get a little bit further in and you see some differences and things. And knowing Yoko Taro, uh knowing Yoko Taro, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a reason for the changes, like story wise. Um, because Yoko Taro is a fucking madman like that, but it's why we love him. It's why we love him. All right, he is a madman, and his madness allows him to write incredible stories. And so, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a reason for some of these changes. We'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath on that, but like, if something happens where it's like, hey, here's why this shit's different. Here's like this really deep, intricate reason for why shit's different from the game. Um, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, no, honestly, if you're a fan of Nier Automata, which for those that don't know, Nier Automata is my number one favorite game of all time, no questions. Um, it's honestly a pretty good adaptation, and you know, again, albeit some things changed, moved around, yada yada, but it's pretty good. It's good. Definitely recommend checking out. Next, we got Bungo Stray Dogs Season 4. Guys, I fucking love Bungo Stray Dogs so fucking much, dude. I love Bungo Stray Dogs so fucking much. I have talked about Bungo Stray Dogs a little bit on the podcast. Um, fucking, it's so good. It's so good. And like the literary reference, it's like the literary references. I believe when I talked about it on the podcast, I forget who it was. I think it was either Rex or Halo who said, oh, so it's like JoJo, but with literary references. Because you have JoJo, right? Where you have all these characters and like they're who have like superpowers and the names of the superpowers, like the characters and their names are they're all musical references and puns and shit like that, right? Bungo Stray Dogs is a show where you have people with superpowers whose are like the characters themselves and also their powers are references to books um and various works of literature. I am not a literature dude, right? I don't read. Which might sound baffling to some. Uh, but I don't read. All right. I've never really been big into books. Um, but of the few that I do know, that I have caught references of in the show, it's honestly been really cool and fun to catch them. And aside from the literary references, the characters, the story, the fucking show, the art, the animation, all of it is fucking fantastic. Um, there is going to be a fifth season. It has been confirmed, and honestly, the way the season ends, there better fucking be a fifth season. And I believe it's based on a manga. Yeah, yeah. Um, so it's based on a manga, and the manga I believe is still going. So, yeah, I forget who it was that recommended because I did not watch the first season of this when it first aired. I forget who recommended it to me. Uh, it was I'm pretty sure it was either Couch Gobby or Gobby's brother. It was one of the two. I don't remember who it was, but this show very good. Uh, definitely recommend. It's it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's fucking. It's, yeah. Oh fuck! I did the wrong thing. Okay. Next we got this, which, all right, you might be noticing here. I like to watch rom com anime. They're cute. All right, they're cute. All right, I'm not. I'm gonna explain myself. All right, they're, they're cute. All right, fucking uh, yeah. I don't shut up. It's another rom com. The Angel Next Door spoils me rotten. Dude, is a dude who's like main male lead is a dude who's in high school, not very popular in class. No one really thinks much of him. No one really talks to him or notices him or whatever. Um, you know, people tend to stay away from him. He's yeah. Uh, but he lives next door to the girl who's like the popular girl in his class. Like they like the other students in his class refer to her as the angel. Um, but so he lives next door to her. He like helps her with some shit, whatever. And she ends up helping him by like cooking meals for him and shit because typical high school boy can't fucking do shit for himself, can't cook. His fucking apartment's a fucking mess. Uh, and yeah. So she ends up cooking for him, helps him clean up his shit, helps him get his act together. And they develop a friendship, and then they very quickly develop romantic feelings for each other. Uh, and it's it's fun. It's cute. I don't know. It's not the best rom com anime I've ever seen, but it's far from the worst. It's good. It's all right. Next we have this one. This is another one that got hit by COVID. That's why it's not, like the only reason it's not complete yet is because it 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 got affected by COVID. COVID hit it and it had to take a break for a little bit. Um but yeah, no, honestly, it's pretty good so far. So Bofuri, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense season two. So this is a show about a girl who starts playing an MMO with her friends. A girl, her name is Maple. Her friend is Sally. She starts playing MMO with her friends, and she's not. Uh, she doesn't like really play games a whole lot, but she plays it to spend time with her friend. her friend tells her to give it a shot. So she's like, whatever. I guess I'll play it, give it a shot. However, it's a VR MMO, and she doesn't ever want to get hurt. She's afraid of getting hurt and like feeling pain. She doesn't want that to happen. Uh, so she every time she levels up, she fucking buffs her defense. Like all her points go into defense, and she maxes out her defense, right? So nothing can hurt her. As she ends up getting like all these skills and shit that ends up breaking the fucking game in half. Like Bane did to Batman. Like she breaks the game like Bane did to Batman. Uh Much to the chagrin of the game devs. Also this I just realized this window on an OBS is not centered. Let me fucking fix that. That's better, I guess. I'll fix it later. Um, but yeah, no, it's a fun little cute anime, I guess, and like she ends up uh starting a guild with like her friend and other people they meet in the game, and all the characters are pretty fun and cool, and you got some characters that are honestly kind of badass. Um, and like the way she ends up being like this overpowered monster is interesting and kind of funny. It's not the most original anime in the world, but it's a pretty fun watch. All right, what's next? Oh, Bloody Daddies. Okay, here we go. So when this show first started, I saw people comparing this to Spy Family. Let me tell you right now, this is not Spy Family. Don't go into this show even thinking it's going to be remotely like Spy Family because it is not. You got uh so premise of the show is you got these two guys who are friends, they're assassins, they work together on their hitmen, right? So they're partners in their business. They work together to kill people basically. Um and they end up running into this girl while they're on the job. This little girl, Miri, uh while they're on a job, and it turns out the hit that they're doing is the girl's father. So the girl was sent by her mom completely by herself, irresponsibly, mind you, like completely by herself to go meet with her dad. Right? Her dad is like some mob boss or whatever, and these two guys end up killing her dad before she even has a chance to really know what the fuck is happening. And they kill her dad and they're like, fuck, we killed her dad, and they take her in. Uh and they basically, and she thinks they're her dads. Uh so yeah, she just like lives with them for a bit, and they like take care of her, and they have to like be this girl's father. And it's honestly a really funny show. Some people I saw, comments online and stuff of, people watching the show, people being annoyed with Miri because she acts like how a fucking, what is she, like 3 years old? 4 years old. She acts like how a 4 year old would actually act, right? Like very rambunctious, very high energy, getting into some shit, right? Being a constant headache for her dads. Um, but honestly, like, it's how a 4 year old actually acts. Like, I hate to tell the people who are criticizing the show for the way she acts, for her being like annoying or whatever, but that's how a 4 year old actually acts. Okay, I don't have any kids myself, but I have Hold on. I'm doing maths. I have nine nephews, all right? Not nine nephews and nieces, all right? Um, I have like what is it, like five nephews, four nieces, I think. Yeah, 4 year olds, this is how they act, all right? They can be annoying. They're very high energy, they're loud, they're rambunctious, they get into shit. All right. This is how they act. This is how they do. Um so, yeah, I don't really have much else to say to that. But Miri is very cute. Her relationship with her papas, with her dads is very cute and very wholesome, and aside from the death and the murder and stuff, it's honestly very fun. It has a lot of wholesome moments around that dance around the not so wholesome stuff, because there's murder and death, and they are hitmen after all. Um, Very fun anime. It's definitely worth a watch for sure. I think. Well, let's go back. Oh, the cool ice guy and his hold on. The ice guy and his cool female colleague. There we go. I got it. After I read it on the My Anime List page. This show's alright. Another rom com. You got a dude who is sorry, excuse me. You know what? I'm a quote Giguk on this because Giguk actually put it in a very very good way. So similarly to how Kaguya Love is War asked the question of what happens when you get two tsunderes that love each other. This show, I'm paraphrasing over here, but this show asks how, like, what happens when you get two kuderes that love each other. Because you have two kuderes here, they don't really show a lot of emotion. You have the male lead, whose name I forget. Um, Himuro. There we go. I read it on the thing. You got Himuro, who is a descendant of a Yukiona. For everyone who doesn't know what a Yukiona is, it's basically a snow woman or ice woman in old Japanese folklore. Um, so you have Himuro, who is fucking descendant of a Yukiona, and he can't really control his ice powers perfectly. So while he doesn't show his emotions outward, his emotions show through his powers, right? So in the first episode, the female lead, Fuyutsuki, who is a normal human, runs into Himuro, and his legs are frozen. He's literally frozen to the ground. His legs are frozen like to the ground because he's nervous. He got nervous, so his legs froze, literally froze. Uh, and then throughout the show, if he gets flustered, he'll start creating blizzards, around him, small localized blizzards around him, and stuff like that. Sometimes he'll create cute little snowmen that just pop out at him. Uh, Stuff like that, and it's honestly a pretty cute little wholesome anime. It's not honestly not much else to say about that one. It was a fun watch. It was a fun watch for sure. What else we got? Ooh, this one. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Anyway, so it's a shame that Audrey's not here to hear about this one. It's a real shame that Audrey's not here to hear about this one. Uh, so this show, the magical evolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. A very long title. It's based off of a light novel, if you couldn't tell from the fucking title. Actually, I believe it's based off a light novel. Yeah, right there, and you can see in the tags there that it's a fucking Yuri anime. Yeah, this anime is gay as hell. This anime, yeah, fucking, again, to quote Giga, gay girls in it. It's a fucking isekai anime, which honestly, surprisingly, the isekai aspect of it isn't really brought up much. Like, it's interesting to watch an isekai anime, and like the fact that the main character, uh, Annis, I believe it is her name. Yeah, Princess Annis. Uh, the fact that she's reincarnated from our world doesn't really come up much. It comes up like maybe once or twice near the beginning, and it comes up again in the last episode, and not very much in between, honestly. Um, but like, yeah, it's interesting. You don't really see isekai like that very often. Um, but Annis is a princess, who is sort of ostracized by the nobles in her kingdom because she can't use magic, and in her kingdom, magic is viewed as like a sacred thing that only nobles can use. And she's a noble who literally cannot use magic. And she starts researching what she calls magicology because she wants to basically create a kingdom where everyone is equal, right? So she wants to make it so that the peasants, the commoners, can use magic too. And she also wants to use magic herself because, she loves magic. She's from our world where all this shit is from like fairy tales and stuff, you know? Anyone in her position, like, who wouldn't want to be able to use magic, right? Um, but, uh, and then the nobles start, uh, fucking like criticizing her and her magicology and saying it's sacrilegious and heretical and shit like that. Blah blah blah. And then you've got Yuffie, who is the other female lead, who is the fiance of Annis's brother, who goes through some shit because of her brother. And Annis ends up saving her, and like she ends up working as Annis's assistant, and their friendship starts from there. And it starts as a friendship and quickly becomes gay as hell. And I fucking love it. The show is so fucking great. It's so cute. There's a fight that happens. There's a few fights that happen in the show that are really fucking well animated and well done and are fucking sick as hell to watch. Um, and boy, that last episode, boy, that last episode. Uh, listen, I guess, kind of technically spoiler alert. For anyone worried that this is Yuri bait and not straight up Yuri, oh, I can confirm it's fucking Yuri. All right, this show is gay as hell. Moving on. Um, but yeah, no, I definitely recommend watching this show. It's very good. I gotta, I gotta tell Audrey about it if she doesn't know about it already. Um, for anyone who doesn't know, as Audrey has said herself, she is the what was it? I forget what she called herself. I forget if she called herself the world's strongest lesbian or God's strongest lesbian or some shit like that. Yeah, so definitely gotta tell Audrey about that. It's a shame she's not in chat right now. Uh this is another cute one. Kubo-san will, or yeah, Kubo won't let me be invisible. Uh it's a shame after episode 6, it had to go on break, and it hasn't come back since because of COVID. It's such a shame because it was really fun. It was really cute. Another rom com. Shocker. I know, right? It's like I like rom coms or something. Um, fucking. There were also like just I don't know what the fuck it was about last season that there were so many fucking rom coms. Um, yeah, no, but this show is very cute, very wholesome. Uh, so this show is about two middle schoolers where you got the main character, I forget his name, to say it here, Shigaishi. There we go. Excuse me. Um, Junta Shigaishi. Uh, so he is uh dude who a middle schooler who uh is basically invisible. Like no one ever notices him to the point where like his classmates have like this superstition where if you notice him at all during the school day, then that means you're gonna have good luck. Um, to the point where he has to like make an effort to let his teachers know that he's at school, right? When they're doing attendance, he has to make an effort to like when they're doing handouts to let his teachers know that they're there. And if the teacher's looking for him, he has to be like, "Yo, I'm over here." Uh, yeah, it's just like completely invisible to every like not like literally invisible, like not literally like physically invisible, but just people don't notice him for some reason. Except for one, except for Kubo, who was a classmate, a female classmate of his, who very much has a crush on him, though she doesn't really know that. Not yet anyway. Um, and she like teases him and fucking all kinds of shit happens, and it's fucking adorable. It's just fucking adorable. All right. Definitely worth watching. I can't wait for it to come back. Fucking COVID's got to ruin everything. Uh, this one, Campfire Cooking of the World's Might Serve Skill, another isekai. Not really your typical isekai though, because no focus on like, he's not like trying to be a hero. No focus on heroism or adventuring or I mean, I guess there's a little bit of adventuring. Actually quite a bit of adventuring. But no like battles, crazy battles, saving people, being, this completely badass, overpowered monster of a human being. Uh, so you got Mukoda, who was summoned to another world. Typical isekai shit. That's how an isekai starts. Uh, and he gets summoned to another world with some other people, and the other people get like really good skills. They get like really good like combat oriented skills. Um, and the kingdom that summoned them wants them to be heroes or whatever. Uh, and Makoto's like, "Yo, my skill is just online grocery. Can I go? I don't want to do any of this combat bullshit. I just want to get the fuck out of here. I won't tell anyone anything. Just let me go." And they let him go. So his skill, online grocery, is exactly what it fucking sounds like. It brings up like a fucking like a hologram fucking web page of like an online grocery like website, and he can just like order shit from it and it will appear in front of him. So like he ends up being able to make all this really good like modern food, like modern day food from like our world that no one, well, albeit with ingredients, other ingredients from their world, from like this new world he was summoned to, this fantasy world he was summoned to. And his cooking, it just fucking blows everyone's like taste buds away. and his cooking also, he finds out his the food when people eat it, it buffs them to crazy fucking levels. Um, but he tries to keep that hidden because he literally wants nothing to do with like it being a hero or combat or anything. He just wants to live his life, man. I'm not gonna respect that. But along the way, he ends up uh creating a contract with a legendary creature named Fenrir, who he ends up nicknaming Fel. Uh, who basically just takes care of all his problems, right? Like Fel will hunt for meat for him to cook because Fel wants to eat his cooking too. Uh, that's the reason why Fel is like, you know what? I'll let you create a contract with me, right? I'll become your familiar as long as you can keep cooking food for me. That's it's a deal. Um, so he ends up being a bit of a legend because he's like this low level adventurer who has this legendary creature as his familiar that people are afraid of. Uh, but yeah, honestly, it's a pretty fun watch, pretty comfy and wholesome, and yeah, it's not always comfy and wholesome, but for the most part, it's pretty comfy and wholesome, and the food is very well drawn. I guess the art, all the art is for like the food and stuff is fantastic, and it's the kind of anime you don't want to watch hungry because it's gonna make you suffer because you're gonna want to eat what you see. But yeah, it's very good anime. Oh, this one actually just finished recently, like over the weekend, I think. The reincarnation of the strongest exorcist of another world. So this is another power fantasy anime that's kind of trash, but I love it. All right, listen, if there's one thing about me, they like I aside from I obviously we've seen that I love me by rom coms, but I also fucking absolutely adore. I fucking love a good power trip anime that knows exactly what it is. All right, this is a power trip anime that knows exactly what it is. Granted, not on the level of Misfit of Demon King Kamigami. It's definitely not on the same level as that. But this anime is trash, and I love it. All right. So you have a uh a Japanese like Omio mage who was betrayed in who he was like the strongest Omio mage in Japan in his lifetime, and so strong that he became feared. So he was essentially backstabbed and killed. But before he died, he cast a spell on himself to reincarnate in another world, right? So most isekai, that should already tell you how powerful he is, because most isekai will have the main character reincarnate, be have the main character be reincarnated by some god or maybe multiple gods or uh some outside force or some shit, right? It's very rarely ever the character doing it themselves. This is one where the character is like is reincarnating himself. Um and he continues to use he ends up reincarnating into a world of sword and sorcery, typical isekai stuff. Um and he at first it seems like he has no talent for magic, which he doesn't because he doesn't use magic from that world, but he continues to use Omnio magic. Um uh but like under the guise of it being magic, like that world's magic that like no one's ever seen before. So like people are constantly like wowed by the shit he does because like it's literally like nothing they've seen before. Um, and it's yeah, it's typical power trip bullshit. I don't really know what else to say about this. If you like your power trip isekai anime, you're gonna like this one probably. I don't know. I love it. It was fun to watch. All right, what else we got? Ooh, Inspector. Okay, I fucking love Inspector. Okay, you need to understand. I love Inspector. All right, season one was fantastic. Season two was even more fantastic. Okay, I love the show. So this is almost like a detective anime about like Japanese spirits and demons and stuff. All right. You have this girl. The fuck is your name? Kotoko. Right. Kotoko. Who as a child was sort of was like chosen by a bunch of yokai in Japan to be their goddess. Uh but I forget if like she lost it some other way, if it was part of the deal or something. She ended up losing one of her eyes and one of her legs in the process. Um and so she became the yokai's goddess of wisdom. And as goddess of wisdom, she solves any problems with the yokai and tries to maintain the balance between yokai and just regular humans. Um, and it's just so interesting the shit that happens, right? Because like there'll be like crime that happens. There's all these like mysteries that come up and shit, and all these problems that happen with these yokai that she'll come and she'll solve, and like the way she explains shit is fucking wild and crazy. Also, she is a menace. Uh, she is. The way she talks and the way the shit she says, some of it is very not wholesome. But uh, she's great. The show's great. I love the show. I definitely recommend watching Inspector. It's very 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 good. Um, and I don't know if a season three was ever announced. No, but I hope it gets a third season. The show, I fucking love the show. Also, music, pretty top. Let's see what we got here. Farming Life in Another World. Okay. Oh god. There we go. Farming Life in Another World. This is a show, another isekai. Crazy that there's so many isekai. Did I not watch episode 12? I swore I finished this. I'm gonna leave it like this, but I think I probably just didn't update it after I watched up the last episode. But uh, very good anime. Very. I mean, very comfy anime. It's not like mind blowing or anything, but very comfy anime. Uh, from what I understand, than more comfy and wholesome than the light novel. Because uh, one thing that happens in the light novel that the this show doesn't really mention is like the main character has like a harem. He like creates a harem with all these women in this village that he sets up, and like does things. But that's never really brought up in the show. But the show, I haven't read the light novel myself, so I can't really speak on that. But the show is very comfy. It's pretty wholesome. It's it's a nice time, I guess. Main character gets reincarnated into another world, uh, and his original life was one of pain and suffering, essentially. And he dies, and the guy he like the guy who's like gonna reincarnate him is like, "Yo, I'm sorry about your past life. It's kind of my fault. It was a mistake. But to make up for it, let me set you up with a good life for your next life. Uh, um, fucking." just ask. I forget if he's like, I forget what the actual wording is, but he's like, it was like, I forget if he's like, I'll grant your wish or two wishes or whatever. And he's like, bro, I just want to live a comfy life where I can like farm. I just want to live a comfy life as a farmer. Um, uh, so the god gives him a healthy body and gives him an almighty farming tool, which yeah, it's pretty fucking almighty because he can plant seeds. Like he can like grow plants without seeds and like chop trees down in one hit and like all this crazy shit, right? And it's the almighty farming tool takes the form of whatever farming tool he pleases at any given time, and it can even turn to some other things depending. Um, up to a fucking spear that's fucking crazy powerful. I won't say too much because I don't want to like spoil too much. But yeah, no, it's kind of like an isekai power trip, except the power trip is for farming, if that makes sense. And he ends up starting a village around his like, cause people show up, and he ends up taming animals, and people are like, "Yo, let me live here too." And he's like, "All right, you can live here, just help with the farm and all kinds of stuff." So, and eventually, the village gets so big where he's like, "All right, you can help with this other job I need done for the village and stuff like that." Very very nice, comfy anime for sure. Uh, Ningen Fushin, adventurers who don't believe humanity will save the world. This show was fun. It wasn't mind blowing or anything, but it was fun for sure. You definitely had some cool and interesting characters in this one as well. So this is a show where it's a fantasy show, not an isekai. Surprise, it's very difficult. Not like a lot of isekai come out nowadays, so it's like oftentimes you'll see a fantasy show and it could be like, just a fantasy show or oh no, isekai, there it is. But no, this is just straight up fantasy. Where you have the main character, Nick, uh, well, four main characters. You got Nick, Tiana. I'm literally reading the names in the synopsis. Nick, Tiana, Zem, and Kuran, who start up a party together. Um, After going through some shit. So Nick gets kicked out of his party. Kugan gets betrayed and by her party and ends up basically being left for dead. Nick, the reason he got kicked out of his party was because he was set up by another party member, and he was just yeah he was just sort of kicked out of his party. Tiana ends up being betrayed by her boyfriend, and uh also Nick does also get betrayed by his girlfriend. He gets dumped by his girlfriend. Forgot about that. And then you got Zem, the cleric, who I don't really want to go into his backstory because his is particularly dark. He definitely gets it the worst out of everyone else in the party. Um, but they all deal with betrayal and shit, and they have, because of their betrayals, they have trouble trusting people. And so they're like, you know what, fuck it, we can't trust anyone. We're all people who have been through, but who have suffered betrayal, and because of that, we can't trust anyone. Why not fucking make a party together? What's the worst that could happen, right? So they make a party together. Um, they form a party and uh end up being pretty successful for the most part. Nick, being the one with the most adventure and experience, becomes the leader of the party, and he also, walks them through what it's like to be an adventurer and shit. And they set up rules as a party to like set up boundaries so that they, to like mitigate the odds of one of them betraying the others and stuff. It's interesting. Not the it's not gonna like blow anyone away or anything, but it's a fun watch for sure. Let's see. Spy Classroom. Fucking Spy Classroom. This show not great. I'll be real honest, it's not great. Take Spy Classroom, not Spy Classroom. Assassination Classroom. Make it about uh spies who are anime girls. And make it not as good. And this is what this is. Also, the teacher's not an alien who's hellbent on destroying the planet. But yeah, a bunch of girls who are like misfits in their academies end up being brought together in a spy team where they're being taught by the world's greatest spy. Typical. And uh fucking and the teacher's back at teaching because to him being a spy is like second nature, right? He basically just does everything on autopilot. Like he can't really explain how he does the things he does. Uh like he's just a bad teacher. And so he's like, you know what? Fuck it. Here's how I'm gonna teach you. Try and take me down. And in the process, your skills will surely get better as you continue to fail and fail to take me down. Uh, and it's not great. It really isn't. I almost dropped the show at the beginning, but it eventually got good enough where I was just like, I guess I'll finish it. Um, so like, while overall I did have fun watching it, I would be hard pressed to recommend this one to people. It's yeah, you know, yeah, it's not super good. Trigun Stampede. Oh boy, I am so happy I get to talk about this. I talked about it a little bit on the podcast as well, but that was before it had finished airing. I'm so glad this is getting a second season. I'm so happy this is getting a second season because one season was not enough. This show. So I was worried going to the show because I didn't realize it was being made by Studio Orange. First of all, who as you can see, has made some stuff, including Beastars. I haven't watched the second season of Beastars yet, but they've made they have a history of good things. I haven't watched this either. I really got to watch Godzilla SP. I don't know if it's any good or not, but I love me some Godzilla. Um, but yeah, no, Beastars. Aside from the memes, are right. Like people are obviously gonna judge Beastars because of what it is on the surface, and they're gonna be about it because of what it is on the surface without watching it because people are stupid. But Beastars is fucking fantastic. I honestly would recommend Beastars to anyone. It's honestly a very, very fucking fantastic story and like fantastic writing. It's so good. And honestly, it's like yeah, it's CG anime, but it's a like good CG anime, which is not something that a lot of anime is able to do. So if there was anyone who's gonna make a good CG anime, it'd probably be Studio Orange, wouldn't it? But I didn't realize it was being made by Studio Orange. When I first went into this, um, it's good. It's typical Studio Orange. The animation and the CG, everything is on point. Uh, it's such a good retelling of Trigun. Um, like I know a lot of Trigun, the original Trigun anime is my number one favorite anime of all time. Like 100%, no questions asked, right? So uh, to any fans of the original Trigun who who like didn't give this a chance because of what it is, right? Um, and like and like judged it preemptively because of what it is without watching it. Please, please, please do yourself a favor and watch this. It's so good. It is not as good as the original anime, in my opinion, mind you. I'm sure some people will have different opinions on that, but in my opinion, it's not as good as the original. However, this is really good, really, really good. Especially that finale. That finale was fantastic. It's so good. Um, like, and yeah, they changed some things around. And again, I don't want to spoil anything, but uh, from the uh, from the from like what happens in the finale, I can tell you there's a reason some things are different. Uh, it's just it's so good. Like yeah, something's different, but like there's a reason things are different, and it's just oh man, it's so good. It's such a good anime. It's like the characters, the animation, Studio Orange. I don't like they take every other CG anime that has ever existed, right? Aside from Dragon Ball Super Superhero, that one was actually pretty good, right? That's a very good movie with the CG being very good in most places. There are some spots in the movie where it's not so great, but so they take most CG anime that exists, right? Dump it all on the floor and take a massive shit on it because this is like so above and beyond like other CG anime in terms of quality. It's it's so good. It's so good. Um and then there's obviously the story. It's very great. It's like if you've seen Trigun, you essentially get the gist of the story. Um it fucking I fucking God, like Vash's design, yeah, it's not as good as the original, but it's still just fine. All right, it's fine. I do wish his mechanical arm was more hidden, like it was in the original. That is probably my biggest complaint about his new design is the fact that his mechanical arm is just like out there. I do like the fact that in the original his mechanical arm was more of a hidden thing, but it is what it is. Maybe in season two, who knows? Listen. The finale sets up season two, and oh man, you know what? Fucking spoiler. Hey, guess what? This is a fucking prequel. Um, it becomes very apparent, honestly, if you pay attention. If you pay attention to what happened, um, it becomes very apparent, um, very early on that it's like, oh shit, does this take place before the? Yes, it does. And and one would assume that the second season is gonna go more into the stuff that happens in the original anime. Um, but yeah, this it's very good anime. Definitely recommend. Whether you like the original, whether or not you've watched the original Trigun, which by the way, if you haven't watched the original Trigun, you should watch the original Trigun, and also Trigun Badlands. Um, but whether or not you like the original Trigun, whether or not you've even watched the original Trigun, watch this. Please watch this. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough about this one. What we got next? This is trash. This is trash, and I had fun watching this trash. But this isn't really so much. This is trash. I love it. This is more like this is trash, and it was fun, I guess. So the Ice Blade Sorcerer shall rule the world. Not an isekai. It is a power trip, sort of. Uh, not as much as like some of the other power trip anime that I've mentioned that we've gone through so far. Um, but you got Ray White, who is the Ice Blade Sorcerer, who is the strongest of the sorcerers, and he's going to school, but he's not telling anyone that he's the Ice Blade Sorcerer. No one knows who the Ice Blade Sorcerer really is. And he's going through school and blah blah blah, yada yada, powered uh fucking power trip, yada yada. It's okay. It was fun, I guess. I don't know if I'd recommend this to people. Moving on. Yo, this anime though. Handyman Saito Another World. Teddy entered the chat. What anime are we trashing right now? Oh, hey Teddy. We were trashing the Ice Blade Sorcerer shall rule the world. It's not great. It's not great. But I watched the whole thing. But it's not great. I watched all 12 episodes. It's not great. Um, but yeah, Teddy, what we're doing right now is just going through uh all the anime. Uh, we're just going through all the anime that came out last season. I'm just giving my opinions on it. Gabi might kill you for it. Did Gabi like it? Honestly, last season was like one of the few anime seasons where Gabi and I didn't really talk about anime, like the anime we were watching too much. Like I had fun watching it, but I didn't think it was anything like super good or anything. It was okay, I guess. It was pretty tropey. It was, you know, it was kind of but this anime right here, this is a good one. This is a good isekai. All right. You got Saito, who was a handyman, ends up getting isekai by a truck, as most isekai protagonists tend to do. Um, hold on. Sorry about that. Fucking my niece came in because she doesn't know how to knock. Listen, I love my niece. I love my niece to death, but she needs to learn how to knock. Hold on. Where is my? I need to reset my model now. There we go. But yeah, this show was this show is very good. Show is very good. So you got Saito, who's a handyman, gets isekai to another world, where he ends up being sort of handyman for his party, I guess. They find a lock that needs picking while they're exploring. He picks the lock. Something needs to get fixed. He fixes it for them. Like a piece of equipment or like a weapon or whatever. Did she at least flicker the lights to let you know she was coming in? Nope, she just opened the door. Which I mean, the door is like right there. Like it's like right, like I can see it from the corner of my eye. So like when someone's coming in, I know they're coming in. Also, I don't know what it is about the door, but it's very loud when you first open it. So like you can tell when someone's coming in. Uh, um, but yeah. So like, I just had to get her out real quick. Um, but the show's very good. It's fucking the show's hilarious. It's sort of set up like in short segments, right? Like it's segmented in like a series of shorts in each episode, but then like they eventually connect in a way where it's like it all converges together into like a single point in the story. Um, and then it goes back to being shorts, and you get all these other characters that do their own things, and it converges again like at the end and stuff. But very good show, very funny. Good writing. I like this show a lot. I would definitely recommend this show to people. Then we got this one. Reborn to Master the Blade from Hero King to Extraordinary Squire. So, Reborn to Master the Blade is honestly not the greatest translation of the original title from what I've read. Because if you just go into it with Reborn to Master the Blade, so you have this. So, all right. So the show's about a hero king who dies and gets reincarnated, and as he's being reincarnated, the goddess who blessed him through his whole life is like, "Yo, you've done a lot for your kingdom. You should be rewarded. I've been with you your whole life, basically. Well, what do you want for your next life?" And he's like, "I spent my whole life for the people. I didn't really get to hone my sword skills as much as I could, or my combat skills as much as I could. It'd be nice to be able to do that in my next life, so I can become stronger and stronger, and blah blah blah." And the goddess is like, "Done, done. You will be in your next life. You'll be able to hone your skills and whatever." So he gets reincarnated, but he gets reincarnated as a woman. Uh, which surprises him. And then and in like the time that he gets reincarnated to, people have forgotten how to use, like, they still use magic, but not like the same kind of magic that he uses. So even like as a baby, he's stupid powerful. Or she at that point, I suppose. She's like stupid powerful. And she grows up just wanting to get, hone her skills and become stronger and stronger. And the reason why Reborn to Master Blade is not the greatest title is because she rarely ever actually uses a sword. She shoots beams and punches and kicks a lot, and that's basically it. She's basically Goku. She's basically Goku. She's a huge battle junkie to the point where she like will run towards danger, and like when people are in danger she will get excited because she gets to fight something, and she constantly wants to fight people stronger than her. She is literally female Goku in a fantasy setting. um and her appetite is the same as Goku's too. She eats a lot. Both her and her cousin eat a lot. um but yeah, never actually really uses a sword. So Reborn to Master the Blade is not the greatest title, but apparently it's also kind of a mistranslation because the original title is closer to like Reborn to Master like martial arts or some shit. But yeah, I was about to say Goku 2.0 LMAO. Yeah, no, legit, she is female Goku in a fantasy setting. Like that is like the easiest way to describe her. Um, and yeah, it's not like the most groundbreaking thing, right? But this is a fun one for sure. If nothing else, because the main character is just female Goku in a fantasy setting, and it's pretty funny. And a lot of the fights are honestly just fun to watch. I guess it's a little bit power trippy too, but like it's a fun one. It's a fun one. Um, I would probably recommend this one. Yeah, I would probably recommend this one. It's pretty fun. Okay. So this is one that's gonna be a bit. Wait, don't tell me she has daddy issues too. Nah, no. She doesn't have daddy issues. She's not Gohan. She's Goku. Uh, so this next one's gonna be a bit controversial, but trust me, it's not what it seems on the surface. All right, you gotta trust me. It's not what it seems on the surface. All right, fucking low. Come on. There we go. All right, Onimai, I'm now your sister. Okay, here we go. This is the kind of this is the kind of show that gets Twitter angry. All right, this is the kind of show that gets Twitter mad. Uh, so the main character is a dude who is basically a NEET, right? He's like an otaku, like NEET. Doesn't ever leave the house, doesn't go to school, doesn't work, just stays home, watches anime, plays video games all day. Uh, a lot of what he plays is quite frankly like eroge, like porn games. Uh, yeah, very um, he's a NEET, and his sister is like a fucking genius scientist, whatever. And so she ends up drugging him without his knowledge. And one day he wakes up as like a middle school aged girl. And yeah. So he just kind of has to live as a girl for a bit. And the reason his sister did that is because she wanted to get him like she wanted to like break him out of his shell a bit, wanted him to like essentially become a productive member of society. And I don't know how she came to the conclusion that, yeah, this is the best way to do it. Let me turn my brother into a little girl, my adult brother into a little girl, and I'm sure that's the perfect way to go about this. But it's honestly it's wholesome. It's honestly way more wholesome than like you'll see clips. You can find clips of it online that make it look very much not wholesome, but honestly, it's pretty wholesome. It's a like overall, it's a pretty wholesome anime of just like she just wants to spend time with her brother, man. She wants her brother to become like a happy, productive member of society. Sister calls him trauma for centuries. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. You will see that like from episode one, there is trauma happening. Um, but honestly, it does become very comfy and very wholesome and very cute, I guess. I don't know. It's nice. It's a nice warm anime. Making teddy issues but with science. It should be worth noting they don't live with their parents. They live alone like with each other, but not with their parents. I don't know what happened to their parents. I don't know if their parents are dead or like just like they live somewhere else. Their parents don't show up in the anime at all. Um, but yeah. Honestly, the most horrific thing that happens in this anime is eventually he ends up going back to school. He ends up going back to middle school. And fucking all I'm saying is that now as an adult, don't ever send me back to middle school. I don't want to go back to stop. Don't. If I turn into a child tomorrow, do not send me back to school. Please, for the love of God. I do not want to go. I do not want to deal with that shit again. Um, but but yeah, no. It's despite what it might seem like on the surface or what or like from like clips you might find online. It's honestly very nice and comfy and awesome. It's it's nice. This one, chilling in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. So this is a show about Dario, who was got fired from the Demon King's army because so he is a demon who can't use magic, right? Uh, so his adoptive brother, who is the son of one of the four Demon King's generals, uh, ends up like hating him and like bullying him and shit, and like fire and like once he becomes one of the four generals, ends up firing Dario because he's just like, you're a fucking useless demon. You can't even use magic. Get the fuck out of here. So Dario ends up having to leave, and when he finds a settlement of humans, he learns. No, I think he already knew. So he ends up explaining he ends up meeting this girl, the girl like on the front cover, Malika. Uh, and like he explains to her that literally the only difference between humans and demons in this world, like they even appearances, they look exactly the same. The only difference, legit, is that demons can use magic. That is it. Demons can use magic, humans can't. So Dario ends up going to her village while keeping hush hush that he's a demon because he doesn't want to, get super murdered by a bunch of humans. Uh, and while he's there, he ends up registering with the Adventurers Guild and finds out, surprise, surprise, he's actually human. Could you believe it? The demon that couldn't use magic in a world where the only difference between humans and demons is that demons can use magic is fucking human. Fucking crazy. I know. Weird that that thought never crossed his mind, but whatever. Uh, but yeah, so he ends up finding out that he's human. So he basically sets up a new life in this village where he's like the strongest person out here because so the demons use magic but the humans are able to use a thing called aura, which basically enhances their physical abilities, and fucking Dario is like super fucking buff strong with aura, and yeah, just sets up a new life there. It's pretty, it's okay. Not the greatest anime in the world. It was a pretty fun watch though. Not the worst. You could definitely waste your time with worse, for sure. It's it's okay. Okay, this next one. So remember how earlier I was gonna say some of these are gonna be like super embarrassing because it's like, oh no, now you know that I watched this. Uh, so oh fuck. So this one, okay, this one's fucking embarrassing as hell. My Life as Unukai's Dog. Yo, this fucking show is so trash. This is a show where it's just like, yeah, you're just here for the fan service. Um, uh, so dude, main character, gets turned into a dog. Let me scroll down because I don't know if this preview up here can get me in trouble with Twitch. Uh, so this show is about a dude who wakes up one day as a dog, has no idea why he's a dog, can't really remember anything. Like he remembers about his life, like he remembers that he was like human and stuff. He remembers like stuff from before he was a dog, but he this one is tasty hentai just to sum it up pretty much. Um, so he gets turned into a dog, doesn't know how he turned into a dog, can't really remember anything from like the day before. Slowly starts to remember like throughout the series and like tries to find out how to turn back and stuff. But while he's a dog, he gets picked up by one of his classmates, Inukai, who he has a crush on. Of Because of course he gets picked up by the girl he has a crush on. And she ends up like adopting him essentially as her dog. Cause to her, he's just like a normal dog, you know. Like she doesn't know that he was once human. To her, he's just like a normal dog, and she loves dogs. Maybe a little too much. She might love dogs maybe a little too much because some of the shit she does with this dog is fucking wild. Um, uh, yeah, she loves dogs maybe a little too much. And then she has a friend whose name is Nekotani, who is afraid of dogs, and so she gets into some shit whenever she's around because she's afraid of the main character who is no dog, um, aka bestiality. Not 100% bestiality, but it gets close. Um, it's bad. Uh, yeah, this is like yeah, she loves dogs. Oh wait, this show is weird. This show is really weird. Um, but yeah, I don't really know where to go from here. But yeah, it doesn't go all the way into like just straight up bestiality, but she loves the dog way too much. Listen, I love dogs. I love cats. I love animals. I love like cute things. I like to play with them. She loves dogs way too much. All right. Uh, moving on. What else we got? Didn't watch that. Didn't watch that. Oh, I started this but dropped it. There's another one I started but dropped. The Fruit of Evolution Before I Knew It My Life had it made season two. The show is one that if you watch it, be prepared to lose your meaning of life. Yeah, no, for the dog one, yeah, for sure. Um, uh, fucking this show, the first season. I remember the season being pretty good, enough for me to like watch this season. Uh, but I don't even know how the fuck I make it 7 episodes in. To be honest, this season was trash. Don't watch this. Don't waste your time with this. This is just garbage. Don't just don't just don't. It's basically the same joke over and over again. It's while granted, I like the power fantasy stuff where the power fantasy stuff is basically the same joke over and over again. This is, but that like knows what it's doing and it's not afraid to take the piss out of itself. But like this one's just bad. Don't watch this. Um, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. So I don't. This is a shoujo anime. I don't typically watch shoujo anime, but I was like, fuck it. I guess I'll give this one a try. Eh, I have mixed feelings about it because overall it was kind of alright, I guess. But like, eh. So the show is about Anne Halford who wants to be a silver sugar artisan. So in this world, uh, silver sugar is a type of sugar that is refined from sugar apples, and sugar artisans basically make like confectionaries. Like they basically make statues out of the sugar that you can eat and stuff. And the kingdom in the capital holds a festival every year where sugar artisans can present their creations to the king, and then the king picks the best one, the one that he likes the best, and whoever he likes the best becomes a silver sugar master or whatever. Uh, so uh, another thing about the world in the show is that there's fairies. However, the fairies have been enslaved by humans, and the way that they're enslaved is that whenever they're captured by humans, the humans remove one of their wings, and so the wings are basically a fairy's like livelihood, right? Like, the wings are basically the same as the fairy's life, essentially. So if you hurt a fairy's wing even once it's detached, you are like causing immense pain to the fairy. Like, you can, if you tear up a fairy's wing, you will kill that fairy. So humans will capture fairies, remove one of their wings, keep that wing with them, and like essentially threaten the fairy with the wing, or like, like crush, twist, the wing, contort the wing in ways to like hurt the fairy or whatever. Uh, and like, so they've enslaved the fairies with their wings. Um, so however, Anne doesn't like the idea of enslaving fairies. She ends up buying a fairy slave anyway because she needs a bodyguard to get to the capital. So she ends up buying a warrior fairy um to protect her as she makes her way to the capital so she can partake in the festival. With the promise that she promises the fairy that once the job is done, she'll return his wing to him, so that he can be free, whatever. They become friends. They pretty much end up falling in love with each other, though they never actually say it. Uh, Anne goes through some shit. Anne goes through some shit. Like nothing. Like a lot of bad things happen to her. Um, like in fucking there's a dude in there's another character in in the show called Jonas, who like at the beginning, so they're like childhood friends. At the beginning, he's like trying to get her to marry him and stuff. Eventually, spoiler alert, I guess. Eh, uh, eventually he tries to kill her. Essentially, like he tries to kill her and steal the sugar confection that she was going to present at the festival so that he can present it as his own. Um, and he basically leaves her for dead. And nothing ever happens to him. He suffers like no consequences from it. Like, he doesn't win the festival, but like that's the most consequences he gets from it. He doesn't win the festival. That's it. And it's like it's one of those kinds of shows where nothing bad ever really happens to the bad people, and it fucking gets on my nerves. I don't know if I would recommend this to people just off of that alone. Uh, Revenger. This is a show that more people need to watch for sure. This is a good show. Um, this is a show that takes place in it takes place in Japan. I don't really know what what time specifically it takes place in. So there's samurais around, but like there's also like guns have been introduced to Japan, and like they've started doing trade with other nations and stuff. So it's like around that time. Um, and so you have the main character, Karima Raizo, who is a samurai who ends up killing ends up being ordered to kill his father-in-law, but then gets told that his master is a corrupt shitbag who's trying to fucking spread opium around. Opium is a very big plot point in the show. Opium and like the spread of opium. Um, and he ends up joining a group of what are called Revengers, who basically take hits on people to like settle revenge for people who, have grudges against bad people. So like say so like something bad will happen to someone, right? Like someone will get like there's like a bad person does a bad thing to someone, and that person has a grudge against the bad person. What they can do is bite a piece of gold, give that to someone connected to the Revengers, and then the Revengers will essentially take that bitten pieces of gold as payment, and they will handle your revenge for you essentially. Um, it's a good show. It honestly is a very good show. I would highly, highly recommend the show to everyone. Um, I feel like this show didn't get the attention it honestly deserved because it's this is fucking my favorite character is if you can the dude on like the left of the and like the left side of the cover art with like the glasses. He's my favorite character. I love that dude. That dude is such a fucking badass. So all their adventures have like their own methods of killing people basically. So the main character Kurima Raizo, he's the samurai. He uses sword. It's pretty basic. Um, you got the leader of like this group of Avengers, who I can't remember anyone's fucking name. Let me go to the list, the character list here. So Usui, Yuen Usui, um, or Usui Yuen, whatever. He uh he like so they also have like cover jobs that they take in the like in the daytime too when they're not killing people. His day job is he's basically like he does crafts. I forget exactly what kind of crafts he makes, but he makes shit and sells it. And he's well known for it too. Um, and he'll take like these gold papers when he's like his method of killing people. You know, I'll do his last because his is actually pretty cool. You got Neo, who I mean, they're a child, so I don't think they really uh they don't really have a day job, but they use kites to kill people, and it's honestly their method of killing people is fucking brutal. Uh, they get it bad. You got Karima Raizo's Samurai Man. Uh, Murakami Teppa. He's my favorite. This dude is so his day job is he's a doctor, right? But when he's killing people, this dude uses a big ass great bow, right? That he has to pull back so hard that like his muscles start to bulge and he like overheats, right? Like like he turns pink and steam starts coming off of his body and like his clothes rip and he'll shoot these fucking arrows that are so big they might as well be fucking harpoons with his bow and he'll like snipe people with them. And it's fucking crazy. I love that dude. That dude is awesome. Um, you got Soji, who is a gambler by day. That's kind of how it's not a very reliable way of making money, but it's how he makes his money in the day. Uh, and the way he tends to kill people is he has a deck of Hanafuda cards that are incredibly deadly. I don't know what the fuck he does. I don't know if he has like blades in the cards or what, but he'll throw the cards at people and the cards will stab people and kill them. Um, and now you got Usui Yuen, who this motherfucker is like he'll usually get like the final kill on the job where he'll like essentially skip past the person he's gonna kill, right? And he'll have this gold paper in his hand, and as he's going past the person he's gonna kill, he'll stick the gold paper onto their face, and the person will suffocate because they can't breathe when the paper's on their face. So they'll suffocate and fall to the ground and die. And Usui will flick the paper after they die, and it'll like it'll turn back into gold dust and like disappear or whatever. Um, and as he's killing this person, he'll like turn his back to them and like and like take off his shirt essentially to show them his back, and on his back he has this really elaborate like almost yakuza like tattoo of the Virgin Mary, and will say this like prayer of how uh at like how he's the you know his victim is like being killed for revenge as they gaze upon this image of the Virgin Mary. Um, and it's fucking awesome. Like, I'm not the most religious person anymore, but like, yo, that's fucking badass. Um, I fucking love this show so much. I highly recommend this show to to anyone. It's so good. It's such a fun watch. I highly recommend. It is gory, so if you don't like gore, maybe not for you. It is a bit gory and bloody. It's so maybe not for the people who are more squeamish to that stuff. But very, 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 very good show. Definitely deserves more love. Oh shit. There we go. What else we got? What else we got? Oh, this show. Okay. This show's fucking. This is a show I look forward to watching literally every week because this show's fucking hilarious. This is a show about a vampire named Draluk, believe his name is. Uh, who in the first season ends up his castle ends up getting destroyed by a demon hunter named Ronaldo. Uh, and so he basically ends up squatting in Ronaldo's office because Ronaldo needs to take responsibility for destroying his castle. Duh. The thing about Draluk though is he comes from a line of very powerful vampires. However, he is incredibly weak vampire, where even startling him will cause him to turn into ash. However, he can revive himself, so he ends up reviving shortly thereafter. And most jokes in the show end up with involve Draluk being killed in some really stupid, goofy ass way. But it's fucking hilarious every time. I fucking love this show so much. It's fucking funny. I definitely recommend the show if you want a good laugh. It's so funny. It's hilarious. All right, what else we got? What else we got that I watched? Let's see. Is that it? We done? Oh, My Hero fucking season 6. Yeah, My Hero season 6 was fucking awesome. It was fucking great. I can't wait for season 7. Fucking fucking seeing Deku go through the shit he went through in this season was fucking fun as hell. This is a very emotional season for sure because Deku goes through some shit, and then Class A like goes to bring him back, and everyone goes through shit in this. The fucking society ends up crumbling because fucking All For One is a shitbag. But he's a very smart shitbag. Uh, yeah, I don't. This is a very good series. This is a very good season of this series. This show managed to do something I would have never seen coming, which is make Deku's goofy ass costume design from like when he first got his costume look like actually really fucking cool and badass. Uh, this season is basically Deku goes through his emo phase. And it's honestly, It's pretty fun. It's a very good season of My Hero Academia. I'm sure everyone knows what My Hero Academia is by now, so I don't really got to say too much. Um, it's it is what it is. You either love it or hate it. I fucking love My Hero Academia. Okay, The Eminence in Shadow. Now this is a show. this is this show is so fucking stupid. I love it. This show is fucking so stupid. And it's so stupid that my model is fucking like going crazy. Uh but I love the show so much. This show knows, one, it's a power trip. Two, it's trash as hell. Three, it knows exactly what it is. It knows exactly what it is. Four, it is absolutely not afraid to to turn into to turn all the way into exactly what it is. All right, it is not afraid to commit in any way whatsoever. Um, this show, uh, I fucking love this show so much. I absolutely love the show so goddamn much. It is. It was so much fun watching this. I hope. Actually, did the second season get announced for it or not? It did. All right, I cannot wait for the second season of this. This is gonna be fun. So you have the main character Sid Kagano, which, by the way, all the names in the show, like almost all, if not all, of the names in the show are puns. You have Sid Kagano, who, I mean, his name is literally, if you move shit around, it becomes Kage no Sid, which literally means Sid in shadow. Uh, so you have Sid Kagano, who is a dude who in his first life was like obsessed with becoming like the most powerful thing, right? Like the way he describes it is like, when kids want to be superheroes, he never stopped wanting to be a superhero, essentially. Um, and it honestly makes him go kind of crazy because like he's like, fuck, the only way I'm ever actually gonna be more powerful than anything else is if I get magic. And so he goes out into the woods to try and get magic by slamming his head into trees while yelling magic. And he ends up running into a rogue as a car is coming, and the car hits him and he dies. And then he gets reincarnated into another world that has magic, that actually has magic. So, as you can imagine, he just becomes like the most powerful fucking thing on the goddamn planet. Spoiler alert for one of the best moments in the show is uh fucking very early on in the show, as he's like fighting a dude who has no chance against him because power trip, obviously, has no chance against him. And the way he toys with people is fucking great. And like, oh my god, the way it's so good. But as he's like fighting this dude and like making this dude realize that he has no chance against him, he starts monologuing to this dude about like how he wanted to become the most powerful, but no matter what, there was always something more powerful than him, and that bothered him, right? And he was like, for example, what if someone like set a nuke to where I am, right? I couldn't do anything about a nuke. How the fuck am I supposed to deal with a nuke? Clearly, the only answer to dealing with a nuke is to become the nuke myself. And then this dude activates a spell that essentially nukes the fucking city. And he activates the spell as he says, I am atomic. And then everything blows the fuck up. And it's so fucking stupid. I fucking love this show so fucking much. highly recommend the show. If you're the kind of person that look at any piece of media and go, "That's fucking stupid," I love it. This is the show for you. All right, watch this. Like for real, watch this show. It's so good. Uh, what else we got? Isekai Oji-san is another pretty good isekai. Um, so this is a show where you were like it's sort of an it's sort of a show that takes place after an isekai essentially. So you got this dude who his uncle just woke up from a coma that he's been in a coma for it says right here 17 years. Uh and his uncle wakes up from this coma and he's able to use magic and shit. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And his uncle's like, "Oh yeah, I was in I spent the last 17 years in another world." Um and boy, and so like the whole show is basically him telling his nephew about like adventures in the show and like them basically dealing with like modern life as well. There's also aside from him being told stories about life in the other world, another large part about this is basically them like essentially dealing with life after his uh uncle wakes up from this coma where he was in another world the whole time. Um and the show's hilarious, and it's really funny. I would I'd recommend it. I would recommend the show for sure. It's a good one. We got To Your Eternity season two. I've talked about To Your Eternity before. Um, very good show. Very good show. This is a show that will destroy you emotionally, and I fucking love it when a show destroys me emotionally. Um, a very good show with a very good ending. I think a third season did get announced, yes, which considering how season two ends, I am very interested to see how it continues because I'm not really entirely sure how it can continue. I think the manga is still publishing. Let me see. Yeah, the manga is still publishing. I haven't even started the manga yet. I really need to. But yeah, this is a very good, very good anime. If you want to watch the anime about an immortal where I guess spoiler people constantly die around him and he has to sort of deal with that shit. You want an anime that will toy with your emotions like Play-Doh and absolutely crush your heart. This is a very good one for that. I love this. I love this anime so much. It is of like more modern anime that I've watched. This is like one of my favorite ones for sure. I gotta watch this eventually. Irumakun. Urusei Yatsura 2022. This was a fun one. So I'd never seen the original Urusei Yatsura. I knew almost nothing about it really until I started watching this, and I honestly kind of want to go back and watch the original just to see what was different. I think another season did get confirmed. Yeah, did get announced, which I can't wait for. This show is awesome. This show is great. I think the original Urusei Yatsura was from like the 80s or 90s. 80s, yeah, 81 to 86. Um, but it's very good. Very good remake of the old anime. Lum is adorable as hell. Ataru is kind of an asshole. If anything, he might turn some people off to this anime. He like some people might find this anime off-putting because of him because he's honestly kind of such an asshole. Um, but honestly, the joke is he's a stupid asshole who is constantly gets shit on because he's an asshole. Uh, and he never learns his lesson. But Yeah, honestly, this is a fun, cute anime. It's comfy as hell. I honestly I really like this one, and I can't wait for season two. Fucking Golden Kamuy fourth season. This is another anime that's been on hold for a while because of COVID. Fucking 6 episodes. 6 episodes, and unfortunately, it just never came back. I guess because it went on. It was put on hold because of COVID, and it just never came back. I hope it comes back soon because I absolutely love Golden Kamuy. This is another show where it's like this is fucking stupid. I love it, but not like stupid in the same way. So this show is actually very good and very well written, and like the story and all the characters are very very good. However, the thing that's kind of stupid I love it about it is it goes from very serious, like very serious to very goofy very quickly. But it does it in such like it does it such masterfully that it's hilarious and entertaining, and I love this show. I love this show so much. It's about a dude, about an ex-soldier, uh, like post World War II, that teams up with an Ainu girl to find gold that was hidden by that to find gold that was stolen from the Ainu by her father to uh and like he like hid it somewhere. So they're trying to find it for they got their own reasons to try and find it, and other people are also trying to find the gold. And there's like various factions and people and stuff like looking for this gold, and the way they clash and and their stories intersect and stuff is it's very very interesting. Highly recommend watching this show. What else? We might be done. Yeah, I think we're done. There might be OVAs. Okay, yeah, I did watch Way of the House Husband season two. I don't know if I would recommend this to people because, like, yeah, the show, the jokes are funny and like the characters are funny, and like as far as the writing goes, the writing's very good, but the animation's like non-existent. The animate like you might as well just read the manga. Like legit, you might as well just read the manga. It's not like it is basically a slideshow. It's 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 like I had fun watching it, but like legit, you might as well just read the manga. Um, and yeah, I think like for realsies now, I think we're done. Okay, well, not going down there. Not going down there. Twitch, that was nothing. Ignore that. I don't have this checked. I don't know why that shit is showing up. Uh, yeah, I guess we're done. I wanted to go into like current season stuff a bit to talk about like some current season stuff and like see what was coming up soon in this season, but we don't have a whole lot of time left, so I don't think I won't be able to do that. But this was fun. This was honestly a lot of fun, and maybe I'll do this again at the end of the month and talk about what the anime I've been watching this season a bit. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed me rambling on about anime. I know I'm not the great I'm not the greatest at talking and like articulating my thoughts and stuff. So like I know for sure I repeated a lot of the same things, and I hope it wasn't like too annoying to you guys. Um, I you know I hope I just hope you guys had fun going on this ride with me, and just I because it's I like I love anime. I love if it wasn't apparent by the fact that I'm a fucking VTuber, I love anime so much, and it's I want to share the things that I love with you guys. So I want to talk about the anime I've been watching and a lot of the anime that get my opinions on a lot of the anime on especially the anime that I've been like really enjoying recently. I've been wanting to just get my thoughts out there. And I feel like this is a good way to do it. So, and I had fun with this. I gotta get um if I want to do more unboxings though, I gotta get like a proper overhead thing. Um but yeah. But yeah, this was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe I'll do more of these. I don't know. Like while I did have fun, I don't know if I want to do more of these. Like have something like this take the place of like a stream where I could be making progress on Neo or or like Street Fighter stuff, like fighting games, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Um, just we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I did have fun doing this, and I'm fucking rambling and repeating again. But yeah, no, I hope you guys had fun. I'm gonna call it here. Um, Links to all my social down below if you want to follow my Twitter, YouTube, uh, uh, join the Discord, listen to the podcast I do with friends. Um, yeah, links to all of those are down below if you want to see those. And yeah, have a good night, guys. This was my opinion on anime. I think next time I'll probably have some like background music playing so it's not so fucking quiet while I'm doing this. But yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. Maybe I stream later in the week. We'll see. Keep an eye on Twitter. Um, but yeah, I'll see you guys another time. Have a good night, guys. Bye bye.